Hi guys, in this video we'll be taking a look at the ACCSS GT Championship Round 3, which took place at Donington. Unfortunately, the salty part of Team Long and Salty has hung up his gloves for the time being, so I had to find someone who was not salty. So together we were Team Long Not Salty, but we did pretty well. This was a win for us, although it felt a little bit like a hollow victory because whilst we did win in terms of points, we didn't in terms of doing it on track. Winning that way diminishes the feeling a little. Anyway, let's get on with the review of the race. So this is my first time qualifying in the GT Championship. Actually, my first time qualifying properly for, I don't know, about 2 months almost. So I think it's fair to say I was a little bit rusty. I managed to get us 5th on the grid, which isn't bad considering I'm terrible at hot lapping. And we thought that was a decent place to start from. We knew we had race pace, and my race pace was faster than my qualifying pace, in theory. Unfortunately, in practice on the start, I had a pretty okay start, but I got a bit crowded out when we came into the old hairpin. And panicking a little bit, I didn't want to get too close to my neighbour. I kind of opted to go a little bit too deep and ended up on the grass. Did a little bit of lawn mowing, kept my foot firmly on the throttle in doing so. Had a bit of practice outside of the race in grass cutting, so that helped a little bit. I managed to keep the car pointing the right way. Donington, the grass isn't as slippery as other places by the feel of it. Or maybe it's just the angle of attack when you come off of a corner. But anyway, managed to get back in and we were still roughly in our qualifying position. We managed to gain a few places back through other drivers making mistakes. Seemed to be mostly Aston's making mistakes, unfortunately, on lap 1. And we came out in, I think, something like 5th position at the end of lap 1. So not too bad. After that, I realised I'd damaged my tyres on the left-hand side, enough to drop a few points of pressure. My tyres never got above 26.8 in pressure. I think under one corner it did just touch into 27s on the front left, but for the most part they were trundling along with low pressure, which meant it was very difficult under braking and in acceleration to keep any pace. I managed to keep it within the realms of the car behind, so they didn't have an easy time catching up, but they still caught up with us, but we managed to keep them behind. And they fell back towards the stop. When we did make the stop, which we did early to kind of counter the problem we had with our tyres, then it was a pretty lonely race to the end. Like I said, we did win in terms of the championship because the drivers ahead of us didn't have partners, so essentially as driving solo they all got penalties. But we were, I think, 4th on track or 3rd in class. With my new not salty partner joining, Norberg, we had a reasonable time driving. He didn't really have the time to practice as much as we would have liked, and he doesn't drive front-mounted engine cars, so driving the Aston was a little unusual for him, but he did a really good job. So thanks for partnering up there, mate. And that was it, really. We were completely outclassed by the winner, who we only beat because of the penalty. Admittedly, we don't know what he would have done if he had a partner, but I guess a win is a win. So that puts us in the championship lead for the time being. Snetterton isn't such a bad hunting ground for either of us in the past, so we're hoping to see good things there. Donington Park is a massive unknown. I only actually got the track medals for that a week ago, so going to struggle there, I think. But for now, I'll leave you with the race highlights. Goodbye for now.